Hey guys, it's your girl Annette Harris. You're normally looking for me as the host of Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette, Get Caught in a Net. And I'm also your positive MHA, your positive mental health advocate and or ambassador, if you will. I'm just coming on to do a live feed right now because I have relaunched another facet of the net, if you will, the positive mental health tips. And I want to encourage you guys to make sure that you subscribe first and foremost to my YouTube channel here, Get Caught in a Net, here on YouTube, so that you will know when I go live and that you will understand exactly what I'm doing here. I have been a radio show host for the past 7 years, going on 8 years this year. But since we have entered into this pandemic last year, I felt the need to launch this new facet so that we can talk about our mental health, have a place where you all could come and listen and or ask questions as it regards to your mental health. I took classes so that I could, during the time being that we've been on lockdown, if you will, last year, to become a mental health ambassador. And I'm finding that it's so important and it's such a need for us to be able to talk about what's on our minds, for us to be able to vent, if you will. The pandemic alone has propelled individuals into a different state of being. And they are not, many are not excited, of course, about what's happening. Unfortunately, many have lost loved ones. They've even had to deal with having COVID themselves or their loved ones, and maybe some have recovered from it. But all of this takes a toll on individuals mentally. Everybody handles situations differently. Everybody handles death differently. And, I say that mental health, positive mental health is so important. It is so key that, I just want to encourage you of what you should do to keep your mental state in a positive sense. So I'm just going to give you a few tips on today. And some things I have listened to other individuals who are in this area and that are giving us positive tips on what to do. And so I'm just kind of going to summarize a few things and actually make sure that it is something that you could take in yourself. I want to talk about improving mental health. Okay, so there are just some simple things that you can do. One of them being speak positively to yourself. No matter what it is that you're dealing with, no matter what it is that you're faced with. Sometimes things may come time after time, it's like almost like they're rolling, and sometimes you're maybe rolling with the punches, or you're trying to, if you will. Some things, news you may get may sometimes knock the wind out of you. But I want you to speak positively to yourself about that situation. Whether you yourself are dealing with an illness, speak positively. One thing that I've always done, and I've done it subconsciously, is that if ever I have become ill or had to deal with a medical situation where I was down physically, in my mind, without even purposely doing this, I would always see myself on the other side of that sickness well. So I would encourage myself, Annette, you're not going to be ill like this for long. You're going to overcome this. No matter what it is, whether it's something, maybe someone says minor, from a headache to whatever. Always speak positively to yourself and see yourself on the other side of through, if you will. And, of course, the Word of God teaches us to speak positively to ourselves. You can encourage yourself in songs or hymns, or you can also get positive affirmations and recite those daily to yourself. So that's one way you can speak positively to yourself. If you have to, and then also, of course, along with that comes self-talk. So you may be dealing with the situation, it may be overwhelming for you. Maybe you got some bad news and you may want to pick up the phone and call somebody. Maybe there's nobody to call. Sometimes you have to talk to yourself. Sometimes you just have to encourage yourself and know that, you won't be in this situation always. There are, times when and life becomes overwhelming. We just have to be honest. This pandemic itself, my God, has been a little bit overwhelming for the majority of people. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, look around at the different reactions that people are giving. For instance, just as simple as telling individuals to wear a mask. You've had situations where you go into an establishment, some individuals have on masks and some don't, and a fight breaks out because one doesn't have it on or because another one has it on. So you're dealing with the situation. We've been instructed to do this, instructed to do that, but it's so that we can stay healthy. But do you not realize people don't really want individuals or anyone telling them what to do? It may sound crazy, but they don't want anybody telling them that you have to wear a mask, that you have to stay inside, that you have to quarantine. And, it becomes a little overwhelming. So again, we're talking today about improving mental health. You know what? You can throw in comments to this live feed. I'm not going to be on here long, but I just wanted to come on and kind of talk about this. Again, we are relaunching this facet of the net, talking about positive mental health tips. So another point that you can do, set boundaries. Boundaries must be set so that you won't become overwhelmed. Set them, have time for yourself, especially during this shutdown. And, one way you can do that, because one thing we can all agree on that has been picked up during this pandemic is social media. Everybody's on social media. Everybody's maybe they've created new accounts or gone back and picked up their old accounts. And so they're constantly on social media. And it's easy to do, yet sometimes it can do us harm. Sometimes you may admit this to yourself. You're waking up in the morning, first thing you're doing, you're on your phone, on your device, looking at your social media accounts and seeing maybe what you have missed, if you will, during the night while you were asleep. Set boundaries, guys. You have to, so that social media will not take over your life, okay? So, if you have to say, okay, maybe you have your social media accounts for business, if you will. And, for that, you need it. So maybe you need to hire somebody to help you keep up with your social media accounts. And then also, maybe you can just set some time aside during the week. I'm only going to focus on my accounts for my business during the week on social media, maybe a few days out of the week. On the weekend is to myself. I'm not picking up my phone. I'm not picking up my device. I'm not getting on social media. Set boundaries, whatever works for you, but do it so that you will have that positive mental health, okay? Because I'm telling you, it's important. Let's see, because some people have said that they will do social media less on the weekends. Maybe they'll take time out with their families, or they'll go and observe different things. Maybe go out. The states are opening up now, so maybe they can go out and have fun. Maybe go to a game or something, or just go and take a walk, if you will. But take time for yourself. Also, you need to be organized. I'm laughing. It's a little inside joke for myself, but organization is key. So organize yourself from day to day. You know, if there are maybe 3 days out of the week that you will go back to social media, you know, handle things on social media. And the other 2 days, you know, you are focusing in, I don't know, on your children or your spouse or what have you. Organize yourself, organize your life. This will allow, again, for you to improve your mental health. Because if everything is all over the place, you're going to be all over the place mentally, and you're not going to be a help to yourself or to anyone else. Also, in one of my other vids, I talked about meditation, and this can go along with prayer, if you will, but sometimes you just need to sit and just meditate. You have to clear that mind. I'm telling you, this is a way to clear your mind, even if you just have to sit with nothing else playing in the background, or maybe you want music, it doesn't matter. Meditate, just kind of find your breaths, if you will, breathing in and out. You have to do this, I'm telling you, to improve that mental health, because if you don't, it will overtake you. I already mentioned about making sure that you limit your time on social media. But one thing I do want to point out to make sure, I think we all do, a lot of us do this. Don't answer texts first thing in the morning. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. If you are waking up in the morning, which is a blessing, then I encourage you, you know, you may not have a relationship with Christ, but if you do, or if you don't, you know, thank God in the morning that you have awakened. You know, you can establish a prayer life, but don't immediately go to that phone or go to that device so that you can see what you missed. So there are so many things that we can encourage ourselves with, but I also want to leave you with this before I end. There are 4 secrets to improving your health and mental health. And I think this is key. I think you want to know about this. So I'm just going to read these off to you. And you know what? It's funny because one article said that these are 4 secrets that are hiding in plain sight. Get it? Secrets hiding in plain sight. So one thing, number 1, that we all have to look at and apply to our life is knowing that behavior serves a purpose. And what do I mean by that? When you look at individuals, whether it's your family members or individuals on your job, and you are noticing their different behavior, whether it is positive or negative behavior, sometimes you can notice individuals in a depressed mode. Some may be alcoholics, some may be drug addicts or gambling addicts, if you will. Those are everyday destructive habits that individuals sometimes engage in. If you're noticing this, what I also want you to notice is that behavior serves a purpose. So there's a reason that they're acting and or reacting the way that they're doing. There's something behind that. So knowing that, one thing to approach it and to help them, kindness replaces the blame game. And then conversation replaces distance. Okay. So talking about it with them, maybe you can get them to talk about what's going on in their minds. Maybe you can be of help to them. I already stated that I'm a positive mental health ambassador, and that's what that role takes on for me. I try to get individuals to converse, to talk about what's on their mind, to help them to get to that happy place. You know, whether it is something in the middle for them or what have you, but I have a concern and a love for all mankind. I do, which is why I am so focused on positive mental health. So You want to keep that in mind when you're dealing with individuals, that their behavior is serving a purpose. There's a reason that they're acting that way. So don't dismiss them. Don't dismiss their behavior, so that you can get them to get the help that they need. Power of attachment is another one. That's number 2 of the secrets for all of us to apply to our life. Power of attachment, you have to understand and know that if you attach yourself to a trustworthy relationship, whether it's with your spouse, family, or friends, that you can build relationships. You can build these attachments, and then that will help to eliminate loneliness and isolation, and that will lead to a long and healthy life. So it's going to be crucial in who you attach yourself with. So I wanted you to understand that there is power in attachment. It's crucial who you attach yourself with, because that is going to help you to build, again, trustworthy relationships and attachments, so that you won't be lonely and isolated going through life. Because I'm telling you, when you look back over this past year, who wanted to be alone dealing with this pandemic? I can guarantee you no one. Number 3, they have here as a rule, less is more. So don't overwhelm yourself with more than you need to. Sometimes people take on much more than they need to because they're trying to get something rectified. Take your time. Don't overwhelm yourself. And remember, less is more. Less is more. Sometimes less talking is more. When you're dealing with yourself or someone else dealing with the situation. So look at your situation, analyze it, and understand that less is more. Don't overwhelm yourself or anyone else. Chronic stress, chronic inflammation. One article says that that's the enemy. Chronic stress. We live day by day with situations and trauma, if you will. And knowing how to maneuver through trauma and stress is crucial. So the reason why the article called that the enemy is because it is. It works against you. Stress works against you. And physically, chronic inflammation works against you. So there are some things that you need to keep in mind, and I'm going to read these off to help you get through this. So why don't you try some things like, as far as your physical body, the chronic inflammation some of you may be experiencing, try changing your diet. Eat salads, eat we call the rainbow salad. Get away from the processed foods and the sugary foods, the French fries, which was my downfall, and trying to change your diet so that you will help your body. Okay, try to eat right. I'm seeing more and more people nowadays determining that they're going to change their diet, change their body by what they're eating, and that's a good thing. Be mindful of what you're putting in your vessel. On the psychological end, what you need to remember and keep in mind with the chronic stress, some things you can do. I've already talked about meditation. You can go back to meditating. Some people do yoga. Some people do Christian yoga, if you will. These different things will help you to have a healthy, safe relationship. It will definitely help you to improve your mental health. So again, I just want to come on and do a few minutes with you to talk about improving your mental health. I hope that there has been something that has been said that will help you, and look out for more of these videos that I will be doing. Some may be less time than now, but again, I am determined to help my brother and my sister to have positive mental health, to improve your mental health, because I don't want to see any of us fall. I'll say this before I end. During this pandemic, there have been reports here, I'm in the Midwest, there have been reports here that our children have been suffering mentally, psychologically since this pandemic. And one of our children's hospitals here saw an increase in the young children coming in to deal with the mental stress of going through this pandemic. So that should tell you something. Our children are suffering. We know that our adults are suffering as well. So I want to do all that I can to help you to get through this. Yes, it seems like we're coming out. It seems like things are going our way as far as getting rid of this COVID. Vaccines are prominent, and many are having access to it. But we have to keep in mind, going through a trauma such as this can have long-lasting effects on us mentally. So again, I will come to you, and I would definitely continue to encourage you to seek positive mental health. Improve your mental health. It will do you good. All right, guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel, Get Caught in a Net. It is definitely set up so that you will be encouraged. Again, this has been your girl, Annette Harris, your positive mental health ambassador. And, go to my website, GetCaughtInANetRadio.com, GetCaughtInANetRadio.com, and you will see more information on how to attain positive mental health.